Alright, well, it's Friday afternoon and taking the rest of the day off, and Matt and I are going to be working on the car and putting it in final prime. We finished blocking out the rest of the car. Since the last time you saw this, we got the hood blocked out and it turned out pretty good. It's blocked out in 180, and you can see this line going across here where we had two different kinds of primer on it, and where we did the body work up here where we did added the extension on to get this gap looking better. So got the cowl blocked out, and pretty much everything's all blocked out. We're gonna prime the fenders off the car just to make it easier, not have to do a whole lot of masking up here inside the fender or inside the engine bay and all that. We just got a sheet of plastic covering the entire engine bay and the hood laying down on top of it. So and then we've masked around the edge of the cowl there, so just to make it a little bit easier masking job. So yeah, we gonna got to go hit some epoxy prime on some of the bare metal spots. There just really aren't that many now compared to the last time we primed it, and you know, but just a few we're gonna go hit. And the all the body work around where we did this modification to the rear end here, we're gonna put all that in epoxy primer. I don't know if it's required, but I just feel like it'll add some extra rigidity and strength back there maybe, and then do the 2K high build on top of that. So anyway, we just wanted to show you. We're gonna get started here in a little bit. Gonna wipe everything down and spray it all off with a air hose and get it all cleaned up and prepped and ready to go. And we're going to be spraying the Matrix MP3 HS Ultra High Build Primer that we got from Darren and Andrea at Another Option. And just another testament to the level of service that you get from those guys. I was looking at the tech sheet last night, and it specifically said, not recommended to reduce it. And I really want it, because this hopefully is going to be the final prime, and we're going to start the blocking in 400. I wanted to lay down the smoothest, possible coat of primer I could, just so there's not a lot of roughness and orange peel that we're trying to sand out with 400 grit. And so I was wanting to reduce it some, just to get it to spray out a little smoother. So I'd emailed, or actually sent a message on YouTube to those guys last night, and got a response within like 5 minutes on how to, the best way to mix it and all that. So going to take their recommendation and go from there. So anyway, we'll you guys have seen us do a lot of priming in the past. We're not going to show you a lot of footage of us spraying this thing. We'll just come back, and we may turn the camera on for a little bit here and there, but for the most part we'll come back and show you once we get it all in primer. All right, guys. What you doing, bud?
Cleaning the gun.
Alright, Matt's cleaning our little detail gun up. We reduced some epoxy primer by about 5 or 10% and put it in the detail gun, and went around and hit a few small spots that were bare metal where we sanded through and with epoxy. And then this back section back here, we went ahead and put the whole thing epoxy over all the body filler on this, because some of the bare metal spots were coming through the filler, and so we just went ahead and did the whole thing just to make sure we got it all. So a few little areas like this that were just down to the epoxy primer from before but didn't go to bare metal, and a few areas that did go to bare metal. So we're going to let this flash off for a little bit, probably about 15-20 minutes or so, maybe a little longer, probably about 30 minutes maybe, and we'll come back and mix up the high build and get started on that. Well, we started another video segment with Matt doing some cleaning up. It's a familiar pose. So, bud, we just got through priming this thing, hopefully for the last time. You ready to get the block sanded with some 400?
Yeah.
Any other comments?
Nah.
I'll give you a minute to think about it. I'm gonna come back to you in just a minute. So. All right, well, we sprayed the Matrix Ultra High Build Primer. The stuff just is super thick, and I don't know if this is what we really needed for this final prime or not. I don't know if you can see too much about the texture. Let me find a good spot here, maybe that will catch it in some light. I don't know if you can see that. That's actually pretty smooth right there. What we did was we sprayed the whole gallon on here, and the last quart we reduced it 10% and put in the 1.8 tip. It calls for a 2.0 tip, and all we have is a 1.8 and a 2.2. So we ended up using the 2.2, and man, that stuff just came out like, you know, in some places it's really orange peely. So I don't know how easy that'll be with some 400 grit. So we'll see. Another problem we had was, I think in a couple of places where we used the plastic, we had it flipped over the wrong way, and every time we hit it, you know, we got a lot of splatter of dry paint that flaked off. So that's a tough lesson learned there. So yeah, like that right there. So I think this plastic up here is upside down. Anyway, so yeah, we got the fenders done, the front balance, and then the rest of the car minus that door that had already been primed. So Matt, you ready for me to come back to you now? Okay. I thought you might have something to say. Real quick, I'm going to put a link down in the bottom in the description, so check it out. It's Quick Turbo. He's a friend of mine. His name is Chris Threadgill, and he's got also a '67 Mustang convertible that is a sweet car. If you think ours is cool, check his out. He also has a Toyota 2JZ set up, but he's got quite a bit more modifications done to it, and standalone engine management system. You name it, he's got it. A real high-end fuel system. I think he's going to try to make about 600 or 700 horsepower with it, maybe more. So I'm going to put a link down there. He just got the car. He's had it running for a little bit, but he just got it moving, and the thing just looks and sounds killer. So check it out. And that's it. And we're going to swing back to Matt just check one last time. He's had some time to think.
I'm thinking being done.
Any comments?
It's hot.
Okay. Yeah, it's warmed up here in Texas, and we're going to do some cleaning up, a lot of cleaning up actually. So we'll come back. What we're going to do is let this sit over the weekend, so you won't see any more videos probably from us this weekend, and probably the middle of next week, probably about Wednesday night, we'll get out here and start sanding this. Tomorrow we're going to push it outside, let it sit out in the sun all day while we do some cleaning up in the garage, kind of getting prep for the paint job. And we will come back out here in the middle of the week and start sanding. We're going to try it with 400 and see how that does, and if it's you know, taking forever, we may go to 320 or even 240 as a first cut, and then work our way back to 400 and 600. I think we got enough material on here to start with 240 if we need to. So we will see. All right, guys, that'll be it. And again, check out Quick Turbo. We'll again check the link in the bottom of the description. Go check him out. Support him. Give him some comments. It's a killer car. So thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.